darkness comes the man who held the Winfield Cup aloft just 12 months ago, Mal Meninga. Will he have a chance next week? They've got to win this one, and this is the team from the Raiders to try and do it. Belcher, Martin, Meninga, Daly, Ferguson, O'Sullivan, Stewart, Lance at lock, Coyne, Gaffey, Lazarus, Walters and Todd.
The Broncos have never gone as far. Today they have to overcome a hostile Sydney crowd as well as the Raiders. Some positional changes for the Broncos. Hoff at fullback, Hancock, Jackson back in the centre. Johns is with him. Kahn, Walters, Langer, Madison, Miles in the second row with G, Walters, Dowling and Hone in the front row. But of course, all eyes will be looking later in the day as Wally Lewis hopefully makes his appearance.
Some may be surprised that Bill Harrigan is doing the final. He is one of the best. Martin looking for ball out in the wing this afternoon. Gaffey gets his chance to impress in the back row. And the skipper Meninga was in great form last weekend, looking for something just like that again. We're underway in the final. One to remain to take on Penrith in the grand final of 1990. Miles taken strongly by Daly. And Lewis, last out, hasn't even made the bench yet. The Raiders trying to keep the Broncos inside their own 22. Put on the early pressure. Hone is wrapped up. Dowling back after missing last weekend. They've only met once this year, 22-20, and what a spectacular game that was. So there's that early pressure coming in. Kahn offside, a penalty for the Raiders.
Yes, in front of the kicker there. Actually, Gene Miles did very well to not lose possession of the football, but the kick later was just not on. He was never able to get his players on side, and Kahn picked up the ball in an offside position, so the penalty goes to Canberra.
Well, no shot at goal from Meninga.
A bit surprised at that.
They're going to stay here with the pressure. Walters, Lazarus, 11 metres away. Todd, they get to 9 metres out. Stewart, dummy on the inside, outside he finds Coyne. He's 5 and 6 metres out, right in front of the post. Stewart switches the other side. O'Sullivan, Stewart the run around, back on the inside for Belcher. It opened up, but closed quickly. Meninga looking out wide. Now he can unload. Coyne. The defence holds. Last tackle against the Raiders. Meninga stays on the short blind. To the in goal, it'll be too strong. And back to the 22.
Yes, Meninga couldn't quite judge that one. It was a little bit too pacey. He was going to always evade everybody and go over the dead ball line. State Bank replay showed that fairly clearly.
Garrett Walters with a restart to Dowling. Hammered by 3 defenders. Hone. Great defence from Lance. G. They just work it away effectively through the forwards. Brisbane to take some of this pressure off. Miles to get the kick in. It'll go straight to Belcher, though, with a little bit of room to move. Outside Jackson managed to hang on to his jumper. Surprising that they kicked straight to Belcher on the full.
Yes, that's got to be avoided at all costs. Of all the fullbacks in Australia, Belcher's the one in the present form that he's in this year that can bring the football right back and put egg all over your face.
Lance. On the fringe of the ruck, the ball was thrown across the front of Lazarus. Steve Walters. Big don't argue to brother Kerrod. Meninga. The kick in away from Hoff. Out to Khan's wing. Bouncing awkwardly. And there's a mile of defenders down there.
Yes, let's have a look at these lower grades early on. Canberra 20 and Parramatta 16 in the under-21s. That was after extra time. Reserve grade, Brisbane 18, Penrith 6.
Good effort from Hoff to get it 40 metres out. Dowling takes over. So the St George side will take on Canberra in the 21s. And Canberra and Brisbane, as they meet here today in the first, will meet in the reserve grade grand final. Belcher tries to trap it with his boot. Much better chasing this time and better kicking. He still managed to beat the first tackler though, Belcher. Plenty of experience sideline this afternoon. Bill Anderson, Wayne Pearson, Peter Sterling. How do you see it, Bill?
You've got the two best attacking teams in the competition, Graham, so it should be a magnificent spectacle, but I think the outcome will be determined by percentage football. That'll be Canberra.
Wayne, how are you going with this one?
Well, I think that the kicking game will determine the outcome of this game. We've just seen Ricky Stewart put a great kick in. Brisbane have put in 2 kicks. Both kicks have been poor ones so far. So I think that's where it's going to be won and lost, and I favour Canberra.
Great kick.
Well, there's Ricky Stewart's first attempt at a kick today, and what an attempt it was. He's made about 50 metres up the sideline. An absolutely magnificent kick there to start proceedings. State Bank replay.
Well, from one great half to another, Peter Sterling, how about you?
I'm going Canberra, Graham, but I'm going on the score of defence. I think if you're going to be a champion in any sport, you've got to be able to put the ball over the line, but you've also got to be able to stop it. Canberra a bit more adept in that department.
Langer with the scrum feed right on the Broncos 22. Miles ended up with it.
Well, Gene Miles getting a real workout here, but I fail to see why everyone's so incensed with him. I don't believe really that he should have been playing today. I think he should have been sent off. But for the crowd to seriously expect Manly players to fall for the fact that the crowds are concerned about a Manly player's well-being is nonsense. I think everybody knows, you and I, both sides are roundly disliked. Manly accepted, Brisbane are angered by it. It's quite simple to me.
Now the Broncos doing well to keep the football alive. Hoff deep inside the Canberra territory. He's got a pass back inside to Hancock. Hancock is pulled down 11 metres away from the Raiders line. Penalty has gone Brisbane's way.
Yes, it was a great tackle by Martin. Hancock seemed to be put into the clear there, but this was the end of it. Martin just wouldn't get off, and that obviously is going to bring the penalty.
And he's got 5 minutes in the bin as well.
Well, that's an early mistake that Canberra have made, which they may well pay for.
Well, Mal Meninga will be far from happy with that little performance.
No, he's got a bit of an angry look on his face, and he's saying a few words to different people out there at the moment. And I don't think that fellow there, Sheens, will be too. Tim Sheens, the coach of the side, will be very happy about it either.
Terry Madison has the opportunity to put his side in front.
Well, now look, Hoff made this great burst on the replay as we see it. Gets the pass beautifully timed back inside to Hancock, and Martin's right there on Hancock. He followed him infield and judged it to perfection, but he just went on with the business too long over the tackle and dwelt on the tackle player.
25 goals this year for Terry Madison. And this is just inside the 22-metre marker, 11 metres in from touch. And he's sent it to the left. So the Broncos can't take advantage of that opportunity. No score, Canberra and Brisbane. Back to the 22. Brisbane won the toss and decided to take advantage of the wind in the first half. Stewart sends this down for Langer. Now it's back for Hoff. Caught by Lance.
Well, I think the Canberra side have really pulled the right rein by putting Dean Lance at lock forward. This gives them what they're after, someone very experienced to counter wiles, the wiles of Langer, the little halfback.
Now Dowling almost to halfway. Here's Langer. Back inside was Walters, and then to his brother, and now it's for G. G tried to float one out to Khan. Khan is pulled down. Now it's with Dowling again. Langer has it. Jackson floats one for Hoff. Hoff again almost taking off, but it was Meninga who brings him down. 5 tackles used up by the Broncos. Langer. Down for Belcher, who's in his own end goal. And brings it back 10 metres in the field of play.
Well, there must have been some suspicion of a knock-on in that situation there.
Gee whiz, that was a hit and a half. Mark Hone on Lance. Todd gets to the 22. Now Lazarus. Stewart. Some open space for him. Well, bounced back towards Hoff. Daly chasing him. He's got it on the outside of Daly. Daly ended up missing him, but Hoff brings it back inside the Canberra half. Good run from him.
We've only had 10 minutes of football, and Hoff's had 3 very good, long, strong runs. He's really pumped up for this one.
Khan playing the football. Hone. That's with Langer. Langer saw the little bait. Made it. Got 10 metres to within the line.
Great head-on tackle by Belcher.
Great opportunity for the Broncos. Some pressure for the Raiders. Jackson has it. Jackson got it to G. Out for Johns, who's in touch.
Well, he just put his foot on the sideline there. We'll see that again on the State Bank replay, but it was a close thing. Just watch it there. Oh, well, it wasn't really when you look at it. It's about 6 or 8 inches over the sideline. It didn't look so bad from up here.
Interesting to watch that his opposite, Laurie Daly, went into this game with a big question mark over his shoulder that some feel he popped last week, and he's already been clutching at it a number of times. So he's far from 100%. Trouble for the Raiders here. Mix up with Meninga and also Lazarus.
Are we right then?
Todd. Looking a little bit shaky early, the Raiders. 0-0 at the moment. Coyne. He's wrapped up. About 27, 28 out from his own line. Belcher to get the kick in. Maybe not. Now he knocks on. So the Raiders guilty of putting pressure on themselves.
Yes, and it's a handover. So this is the State Bank replay. He beats the tackle, then the ball is just knocked out of his hand.
Miles got it away. Meninga knocked it up. Meninga's down the sideline. Hoff is there at fullback. Meninga is taken by Hoff.
Well taken by Hoff.
Now, on counter-attack, the Raiders just where they are really dangerous. O'Sullivan across the field. Still going. Daly went infield. Ferguson one-on-one with Khan. Ferguson beats him on the inside. The crowd are on their feet here. Danger at both ends. Walters gets it back for Ferguson. This time he doesn't have any luck in getting through. Stewart. Daly. Cut out for Belcher. Meninga. Daly again. Tries to stay on a short side for Meninga. Martin. Hancock had stayed out on his wing on Martin. Last tackle, Stewart. Looked to be way offside, and again it's way too strong.
Yeah, Brent Todd was way offside there. The referee didn't blow it up because the ball was obviously going to go dead. But here he comes into the picture at that point. You saw him just over the goal line when the ball was still about 4 yards short of it.
Dowling brings it out strongly. The Raiders keep on getting caught out wide.
Yeah, they're getting themselves into trouble. I'd like to give a bit of credit to Brisbane, but their ball movement in around the rucks is better than I've ever seen. Walters clearing the ball quickly to Langer, and Langer then onto his 5'8" and onto the centres and so on. Graham, I think there might be a little bit of a problem as well as Laurie Daly. Belcher seems to be struggling a bit to me also.
Miles went without it. Back up the middle was Kevin Walters. Nobody's. Now Jackson's. Last tackle against Brisbane. Langer kicks away from Belcher. But everybody's had a lot too much for breakfast this morning. Kicks going too deep. Back to the 22. Canberra taking their time over this one with Steve Walters.
I don't blame them. The game has started at an enormous pace. They couldn't really keep that up for the 80 minutes.
Todd. So there have been 5 apiece in the kicking department. Lazarus. Stewart for Coyne. He's brought down 40 out and right in the middle of the field. Steve Walters goes for a dart. He beats brother Kerrod. He beats brother Kevin. He's got support coming. He didn't see Meninga, now he does. Stewart, they keep it alive. Great play. I think if he had have looked earlier, the try was certainly on with Meninga. Lazarus, it might still be on. Todd's got Martin outside. Hancock's there, he wasn't tackled. They've got the first try. So it's all set up though. Go back to that run from Steve Walters, that laid it on.
Spectacular stuff from the Canberra Raiders, really spectacular. Was on the counter-attack. This is Walters, as I thought he would. Made a very good inroad from dummy half, saw the markers were not at home. He gets the pass away ultimately at this point, tackled by Hawke onto Meninga. Now Meninga gets a pass away out there to Stewart. Stewart goes down, but he gets to his feet very quickly despite the attention of Madison. Sullivan's at dummy half. Dummies to the left, goes back to the right, gets a pass away out there to Stewart. Out it comes there to Lazarus by the look of it. And then away out to Martin. Now Martin at this point looked to be held, but Hancock there fell over the top of him and fell off the back. And that's a soft way for it to try to be scored in the long shot, particularly from an international wing three-quarter who's supposed to be marking him. Now Lazarus's pass out there to Todd. Todd onto Martin. Now Martin's wrapped up at this point, but Hancock just fell over the top of him. Just a simple B-grade error. So in the pressure of the match, an error's come from a player that you wouldn't expect it from. Paul Martin, 23. He's a plumber. Well, he certainly plumbed the heights on this one.
7 tries this year for him. And a 61% record for Big Mal Meninga. All the early breaks were with the Broncos. But now Canberra come up with a 100% record from a try. The Raiders lead 6-0.
Well, the girls are pretty excited about it. And I guess the Walters household would feel pretty happy too on one side. But I know that Timmy Sheens will be quite happy. But it was interesting that Steve Walters, in fact, beat both his brothers in that initial charge upfield. So the Raiders, away they come again with Checker Ferguson. He's out about 15 metres from his own line. Dean Lance. Overall possession is all even, 31 tackles apiece. But it's been the counter-attack from the Raiders that has been quite outstanding. Now this is Hoff, who's been very much involved. Daly sticks to him this time. Just 10 metres from halfway. Khan. It's 5 metres closer. Wanger. Now Johns on the bench for the Broncos. Wally Lewis, Peter Sterling. I've got to ask you, how would you use Lewis?
Well, I think it depends on the situation of the game. If they're just behind or just in front, I can see, pluses in both those areas. If they're behind, then he's an impact player who can create opportunities. If they are in front, then he can close the game down, especially with his kicking game. So, he's going to have some impact if they do bring him into the fray.
This is down for Belcher. 10 metres from his own line. Johns takes him. Interested observers. Now the boys from the foot of the mountains, the Penrith side, of course, will meet the winner of this game in the grand final next Sunday. Lazarus, another break. Lazarus almost into the clear. Starting to find a few holes up the middle, Bill.
Yes, they are. I think they're hitting the advantage line very well. They're getting a roll on from quick play the balls, and just maybe Brisbane regrouping a touch too slowly, Ian.
O'Sullivan. Daly. Daly beat the first man. Daly takes it inside the Brisbane half. Last tackle now for the Raiders. Stewart. Way up. Hoff. Hoff couldn't get there in time. Played at it. Tackle count restarts. The Raiders have it outside the Brisbane 22. Here's Stewart. dummied once. Now it's with Meninga. Meninga beat Jackson. Meninga will score. Meninga in the corner. Oh, big Mel Meninga beat Peter Jackson and then charged straight at the corner. And the Raiders are in for try number 2.
Sensational try by Mal Meninga. Absolutely sensational stuff for the skipper of the side to come up with one like this. This is a beautiful try. Watch it and enjoy every minute of it. Stewart out to Meninga. Gives the Jackson the rounds of the kitchen. Dummies on the outside to Martin. Suddenly the channel opens up and in he goes with a good sprint. Now there are those that say that Mal can't run terribly far. Well, let me tell you, those giant legs just drove him over about 25 metres to score that try, and you don't ever have to run much farther than that. That was the critical factor of the game. Hawke trying to get to the ball that had been put up in the air by Stewart. He couldn't get to it. It was fallen on by a Canberra player and then quickly moved out to the right. Stewart did exactly the right thing. Jackson was found terribly wanting with defence there, and Meninga decided to go it alone. The cover comes late and Meninga is in. A sensational try.
There he is, the boss.
Who said the oldies aren't the goodies?
16 tries for 1990, the Winfield Cup leading point scorer. And Hoff would be disappointed at not being able to get to that kick in time.
Well, he did make a lot of ground to get to it. It was just out of reach. He did actually touch it with his foot.
Meninga with the conversion attempt. Less than a metre from touchline. Jackson would be unhappy missing Meninga.
Well, he should be unhappy.
Meninga, this is to the left. Not the greatest kick Mal's put in, but nevertheless, it's the Raiders 10 and Brisbane 0.
Chicka Ferguson's had a sharp start to the game too. Hancock with this restart. And Wayne Pearce, it's almost like the Broncos have got to restart their thoughts about this defensive pattern.
Yeah, they look pretty good with the ball, but in defence they're just not moving up, and there's not something that's an easy solution for it. You can't just send out a message and get the guys to move up. It comes back to how hungry they are, and you know, the likes of Coyne just here running the ball up and making metres every time they run it. They've got to rethink just how much they want to win this game.
Their enthusiasm has way down. Wayne Pearce was there in the grand final last year against this great side, Canberra. Gaffey now 32 out from his own line. Steve Walters sets off for another darting run, and every time he's decided to go from there, he's made inroads. Stewart. The kick is in and away from Hoff. Bouncing into his arms though. Taken by Daly. He beat him easily before. 7 missed tackles against the Broncos. Khan. A good short run down the blind. Kevin Walters, Langer very wide, Johns. The Broncos know how important it is now to be the next scorers. Against somebody like the Raiders, if you're not, the game will slip away very, very quickly. You could look at any sort of a scoreline. In fact, Miles. Last tackle against the Dally M skipper of the year. His side drive it low into the 22. Fine kick from Langer.
State Bank replay shows Langer with a very low trajectory kick, only went about 5 feet above the ground, had the end over end bounce, took play to within about 10 metres of the Canberra line. It'll be a good one.
Back out quickly for the Raiders. Belcher through the dummy, wasn't taken by Kevin Walters. This is where the Raiders have taken over easily. Their first ruck of the forwards, they get outside the 22. Now Lazarus. He finds an easy 10 and 12 metres. So the defence is just not getting to them. Meninga, good quick hands. Belcher. Belcher's got Martin outside. He's got support inside from O'Sullivan. Was he onside? If it sits up, it's another try. O'Sullivan! Is that a try? No, it's not.
No, he missed the football, but there was a doubt whether he was onside or not. But at this point, Everybody's looking to see whether he gets a hand on it. He doesn't get a hand on it. He fails to contact, fails to put downward pressure. See it again from another angle on the State Bank replay. The ball had one of those unfortunate twists, one of those things that a rugby league ball will do, and it never sat up for him. So it's a great let-off, but whether or not the referee would have ruled on him being onside is another point.
Well, he did have to rule on him in that incident. Hancock with the line dropout. The ball evades Daly. Ferguson gets there. Brilliant play from Canberra. The Broncos look so good in the opening 4 or 5 minutes. But now we've had 24 gone, and it's all been the Raiders since then. A horror of a pass from Meninga, way behind Martin.
That was just a case of quick hands, trying to get the ball quickly there. The ball came to him very, very fast, and he wanted to unload it, and he didn't even look where to give it. He thought the instinct would take over. It didn't. The ball went over the sideline.
A better chance here for Brisbane to get their attack in order. They've been hanging on grimly. Miles tries to go down a blind. He loses it. No chance for them at all. Now, quick hands for Canberra. Little knock on against Meninga, says Harrigan. Meninga says no.
Well, see it again on the replay, and you can judge for yourself. There's the player, O'Sullivan let it go, and Meninga apparently knocked on briefly as the hand was down there to retrieve the ball right on the ground. That's what Harrigan says.
Certainly a let-off for the Broncos. They get another chance now. It's with Jackson. Jackson stepped inside Meninga. O'Sullivan was there to clean him up. Now Hancock gets to the 22. The Broncos desperately trying to get into this game. It's 10-0 to the Raiders. G will play it. Dowling. Langer. It's come out for Johns.
Great tackle from Darley.
Strong defence. Still on the 22 now, the Broncos. Madison through a dummy. Back inside. Still alive. The Broncos are only 5 metres away. This is the last tackle for them. It's out for Langer. Got it back inside for Johns. And that will be a turnover. Only a metre or two away from the line. A much better performance in that set of 6 from the Broncos. Now Todd brings it away. And again, Lazarus almost reaches the 22. Tried to get that pass away from Martin, and he's in trouble.
Well, one bad pass breeds another one. See it here again. Martin trying to get the pass away that Lazarus, or trying to get away with the pass that Lazarus had fed to him, went over the sideline on the tackle.
Another great opportunity down for the Broncos. Waller's with a run around with Jackson. It's come out for Johns. Just one penalty to each side so far in this game. Hoff. Thrown to the ground by Lance. Just outside the Canberra 22. Madison. So the Raiders have to soak up a little bit more pressure. Walters from dummy half. Got it away for Dowling. Now Dowling is only 10 metres away from the line. Walters again, this time for Langer. Back inside for Miles. The one-handed pass picked up by G. It's away for Hone. Hone beat the first tackle. Hone's still going. He's pulled out about 6 or 7 metres away from the Canberra line on the last tackle. Langer across for Walters. Picked up by Daly. Daly comes away with it. So another near thing for the Broncos. Pressure soaked up well by Brisbane. By Canberra, I should say. O'Sullivan. Langer, who took a knock to the head. Here comes Lance. Just outside the 22. Walters again from dummy half. Whoops. And another good game. And another swinging arm in that tackle.
There, Andrew G was the man.
Stewart. Over Khan's head. Oh, beautiful kick.
Again, Stewart, almost a replay. Well, you could probably replay all these kicks on the same replay because they all look fairly identical. There's always a long gain at the end of them, and he's assuming great importance in this game with his positional kicking. A great kick.
So this scrum is about 15 metres out from the Brisbane line. Langer with the feed. Now it's with Khan. Got away from Lance. Still going, Willie Khan, over the 22. Looking for some support. Got it from Kevin Walters. Walters passed it away to his brother. That must have been the call from his brother. Here's Daly. Daly to the 22. Able to stand and offload for Meninga. Meninga will play it only about 15 or 16 metres away. It's with Lazarus. Lazarus gets to within 10 metres. Lost the football. Picked up by Hancock. Straight across field he goes. Still going. Lost the football. Lost it behind him. Carney's able to fall on it.
He's a harem-scarum sort of player, Hancock.
Oh, this game is played at a terrific pace. It really is. 10-0 to the defending champions. Kevin Walters away from Madison. Now Kevin Walters takes it over the 22. Here's Langer. Now it's with Jackson. Caught by Coyne. Good tackle. Strong tackle from Coyne. Kevin Walters. Now it's with G. They've used up 5, the Broncos. Langer. Down for Belcher. Back almost on his own 22.
Belcher beats Jackson. The dummy nearly gets him through. Taken by Hone. Terrific attack from both sides. Meninga. This is the nearest you'd get to basketball from these two sides. The way they try to keep it alive. Steve Walters. Stewart. Coyne. Infield for Todd. The defence moves up and maintains its line. Long pass to O'Sullivan from Stewart. The chip out on Khan, and he's wrapped up by Ferguson, who Harrigan said was offside.
Well, Ferguson was judged to be offside in that particular kick. The State Bank replay, I think he was, but the referee certainly was closer to the action.
Jackson to look for touch. Two great attacking sides, as I said, but Peter, the mistakes are flowing with that.
Yes, well, both sides looking to keep the ball alive. That's the way they play, and that is going to come up with mistakes, especially with some fierce defence that we are seeing. So, you know, I think that Canberra can go on in this second half and win the game because they're just going to be able to be a little bit better controlled in this Brisbane side.
That was forward.
That ball certainly looked a long way forward. Kept alive by Kevin Walters. Langer for Jackson. Hancock will go infield. And a big gap for Hancock to slice through. 10 metres out from the line. Canberra's turn on the rack now. Dowling charging onto the ball. Dowling can't get it down. Great defence. But can they hang on from here? Touched by Canberra. 6 more. Jackson. Hancock. He stayed in field after making the run. A couple of metres out from the line. They've had time to regroup. Langer. Langer sends them wide. G. Kevin Walters back on the inside. Langer doubles around. The pass goes astray. G's there, but they've lost about 20, 22 metres. Kevin Walters. Kevin Walters' pass went behind him. O'Sullivan has it. They live in this situation, Canberra. They get away with this one. There'll be a penalty.
Has to be a penalty there.
Steve Walters milked it from his brother Kevin.
On the replay there, the State Bank replay, you see there Walters lying down in the position where the dummy half was supposed to be working. He did make a meal of it. Little question about that, but the referee has to give a penalty.
Meninga having a good chat to his forwards about what's coming up after this kick. Harrigan says to get on with it. Inside 7 minutes of the first half. Spectacular attacking play. Todd brought down just short of halfway. Lazarus to take over. Strong runs from him every time he's touched. Stewart. Coyne. Taken by Madison. Midfield as the Raiders go to their back line. O'Sullivan. Big step Langer. Covering up the middle was Hone. Stewart. Daly. Keeps it alive, but a bad pass out. Madison has the ball. Khan. Willie Khan. He turns the Raiders around a little. Dowling overran it. Langer. Miles. Jackson. Looking for Hancock. He's racked up by Daly. Miles. Taken easily by Daly and Stewart. Langer and Madison. Madison looks for a runner. Knocked down by Canberra. Offside ruling, Harrigan says. Give the Broncos an opportunity at goal.
Yes, watch this one here in the State Bank replay. The ball is flicked back. It's knocked down by a player coming through, one of the Canberra players, and then picked up by another Canberra player. So the offside ruling, the Broncos are on with the action.
Hoff will finish up 5 out. I still can't believe they didn't go for goal.
Nor can I, but they're only 5 metres out. Now Dowling. Got it away for G. Back to Home. This must be a try. No try. How close can you get?
Well, pretty close. That's Hone, a very powerful big man. He's handled there very, very well, and he can't get the football down. The referee has adjudicated on it. Watch it again. The pass coming back on the inside. There's Hone. Meninga's one, and Lazarus is the other. So he's got a fair bit of beef on the other side.
Gee whiz, this is a great defensive effort from the champs. As Stewart brings it over the 22. 10-0, Canberra over Brisbane. They have really soaked up some tremendous pressure. The Broncos just can't get the football over the line and ground it. And the Raiders, with this counter-attack, are only 10 metres away from the halfway mark.
I don't think we've seen the last of the tries from the Brisbane Broncos in this match. I think they're playing fairly well. Canberra playing better.
It's a terrific, entertaining football. Here's Checker Ferguson, just about on the halfway mark. Walters got it back inside for Lance. Dino gets to 35 metres away from the Broncos line. Stewart. Now O'Sullivan. Shaped a kick. Found Belcher. Belcher almost into a gap. Daly is there. Daly got to the 22 and the pass goes back inside to Todd, who's put it down. Now some counter-attack from the Broncos. They're just outside their own 22. It just doesn't stop here. G will play it. Now Khan. He and Ferguson have had a great battle out there. As the song says from Tina Turner, simply the best, and you're seeing it out here for the right to play Penrith in the grand final. Now Miles. Langer. Trying to get around Daly. Can't do it.
Daly's tackled everything that's moved today.
Here's Kieran Walters to halfway. Got the pass back inside for Kevin Walters. Last tackle against the Broncos. Just about on the halfway mark. Langer. A little chip and chase. The ball just eluded him over his head. Daly's picked it up. Daly over halfway. Looks for some support. Checker Ferguson just couldn't get there to back him up. But they're only 10 metres inside the Broncos half. Now they're going to play it out wide with O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan looks for Martin. Martin is there. Jackson's got Martin. And the penalty's going to go the way of the Raiders. Offside. Jackson the player.
Yeah, the referee was playing the advantage rule there.
At least it gives everyone the opportunity for a breather. Tremendously fast game. Wayne Pearce, I know you'd love to be out involved in a game like this.
Well, I don't know if I would be. I'd be pretty tired at this stage. It's been a very, very fast game of football, and it just shows you how good both teams can counter-attack. Brisbane have counter-attacked exceptionally well, but unfortunately they haven't been able to keep the pressure on as well as Canberra have.
We saw Canberra not take a shot for goal earlier on. And now, a few moments ago, we saw the Broncos do the same. What do you think of that?
Well, if points are on offer and the margin's not too great, then I'd have the shot for goal. Also, Brisbane have got the win behind them this first half as well, so it may have been kickable.
Now Meninga trying to make this one kickable from 32 out. Low trajectory kick, and the direction is good enough. And 2 more points go to the Raiders. It's now 12-0, Canberra over Brisbane. Meninga takes the drink as the girls do their little dance again. So back to halfway for the Broncos to restart. Now Brad Clyde, who of course has been badly missed by the Raiders. He'd love to be out there. And the Raiders would certainly love to have him. Taken by Belcher and he's in goal. Can't find a way through there. 15 out from his own line. Here comes Lance. With about 30 seconds of play remaining in the first half. They're quite content just to take it up. Gaffey will play it on the 22. Now it's O'Sullivan. Caught by Kerrod Walters.
Well, a 12-point lead to Canberra at this stage, of course, is not impossible for the Broncos to get back in. I don't think anyone will say that they can't win it until this game is just about over. I've seen them score many more points than that in a shorter space of time. So I think the Brisbane Broncos are still in this, but with a different change of luck, and this may be the change.
Well, G's able to pick up the ball that rebounded off a Canberra player. Time will beat them, though, I think, as Langer, hearing the siren, floats one out for Madison, who's put the bomb in the air. It's down for Belcher, but it'll be too big. In fact, Belcher was over the dead ball line by the time he touched it. So the players will go to a break, and a well-deserved break, you've got to say that, with the defending champs, Canberra, leading Brisbane 12-0. And we'll be back here in just one moment. Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium as we get set for the second half of this very, very entertaining preliminary final. The band plays on, the Viking does his little dance, as with the girls. Really has been a fascinating first half, although the Broncos haven't had a great deal to cheer about. These girls from Canberra certainly have had, though, as their side rattled in 2 tries, 2 goals, to lead 12-0 at the break. I wonder if the Canberra side can get into their second grand final to defend this title. Meninga leads the side back. Miles leads the Broncos back for the second half. They have had plenty of trouble containing the Canberra side.
12-0, the Raiders will start this second half. And there's a change, Bill.
James Donnelly in 10 goes on for Peter Jackson after his game last week. I thought he should have started, Donnelly.
So Donnelly gets out there fresh. The King, Wally Lewis. Not really a smiling situation for the Broncos. He's still sidelined. The crowd is enjoying some spectacular attacking play from both sides in the first half. It's going to have to be plenty more coming from the Broncos. Their fans are still there supporting them. They have to really produce the goods in this second. The band might do their best to get off the field to let us get on with this preliminary final.
Get off before your song's over, Graham. It's an old vaudeville saying. Wait till your act's finished before you move off stage.
Meninga's not enjoying the entertainment. Neither's Hoff. Now we'll get down to this second half action. The Broncos, their last look in at 1990 maybe in this second half. Belcher hit square on by Kerrod Walters. The Broncos, they'll have their reserve grade side into the grand final. The Raiders, they have their reserve grade and their 21s. Meninga, strong surge from the skipper. 91 tackles made by Canberra, 13 to Coyne, 86 to Brisbane, home with 16. Interesting that we talk about that damaged shoulder of Daly. He was still the second highest in the Raiders side. Kevin Walters. Johns is wrapped up, 32 out. 31,628 to watch the preliminary final. Donnelly, his first touch taken strongly by Lazarus. To see that they could still draw a big crowd, regardless of the fact that they're not based in Sydney on either side. Miles plays it back for Madison. Hancock. Lance forces him back up the middle. Langer. The kick down for Belcher. The Broncos get the right bounce to make him turn around about 10 or 12 metres.
Well, I noticed Langer there, as he put that kick through, was waving to some of his players to get up there because he realised that he was the only one that was going to be any threat to Belcher picking the ball up.
Lazarus. Well, opposition half, only 24 for Canberra, 39 for the Broncos. So it's a remarkable scoreline when you think of it for the Raiders then on those statistics. Stewart, the difference in the kicking game. Number of times that Stewart has effectively found open field or the touchline. Hoff brought down outside his own 22. Hancock comes infield again. Kevin Walters takes off from dummy half. Home. They get back to 40 out from their own line. Looking for an early score in this second half. Donnelly. Langer. Beautifully picked up by Johns. And he starts off well after scooping the ball up. Last tackle against Brisbane. Langer decides to take a chance and run it. Can't. The ball's into the in goal. Belcher puts it dead. The Broncos will have another chance here.
Yes, well, the State Bank replay shows the kick going through and into the in-goal area, causing problems for Belcher, who has to race it over the touch-in-goal line. And that's one of the areas that the Broncos need to improve as their kicking game. It's not been a great one. Theoretically, they get the ball back from this kick.
Stewart with the line dropout. Be down on the halfway on the fly for Hoff, this tall fullback who's had such a great year. Now, Brisbane, as I said, need to start things early in this half. Hancock right on the 22 midfield. They can go either way here. Kerrod Walters for Madison and Langer's the man that they'll look to run some more, to open up play. Like this, nearly got through, unloads for Kevin Walters. Khan's wrapped up by Ferguson, Coyne and Daly. Kerrod Walters down off line. Khan again. Canberra would be happy if they stay in close like that. Langer, now they go wide. Kevin Walters, long ball for Johns. Back for Miles. Chance here for Brisbane. Meninga recovered and got back there in cover defence.
Yeah, and he gets a pat on the back for that tackle too, Meninga, from Stewart, and it was called on.
Number of times when Brisbane have looked dangerous. Something like Penrith, Bill, the number of times they did it against Canberra, they've been able to scramble.
Yeah, that's right, Graham. I think they're making an even number of breaks, and here's another one.
Well, Martin's clear. Martin's got support too now joining him. Martin can't unload, can he? No. Brought down the Raiders on counter-attack. Stewart, long pass to sit up for Daly. He goes infield. Daly links up with Todd. Todd swivels. Stewart's taken just outside the 22. Couple of times this happened in the first half. It resulted in tries for Canberra. Meninga. Strong game from the captain in this one today. They've got back there in time to settle down Brisbane. Knocked down by Miles. Penalty to the Raiders.
Yes, watch the play of the ball now. Meninga is playing the football. Miles reaches round and knocks the ball out of Walter's hand. And the referee judged that he was the marker, which is the case, and that he can't reach around and do that in a ruck situation.
So Meninga gets the shot for goal. And he certainly has played a big part in this performance from the Raiders today. It was his pass to Martin that sent him off that long run just a moment or two ago. 2 from 3 for the skipper. The crowd, I guess the Brisbane fans certainly hoping for a revival here.
Well, they're chanting for Wally.
Well, there he is. Wouldn't it be ironic if Wally comes on and gets some applause? Here's Meninga from just outside the 22. Again, a low trajectory kick, but again, it's straight. So the Canberra Raiders increase that lead. It's now 14-0 over Brisbane. The Broncos are very quiet. Wayne Bennett expressionless watching this game. And watching this game slowly slip away from them. We've seen the Broncos concede big leads right through this season and come back and quite often win them. But against this Canberra side, it is a tall order to expect that. Now Lance will play it just short of the 22. Here comes Todd. This is Coyne. Walters again from dummy half. Using that palm off again. Daly has it. Beat that tackle. It was Johns who missed him. Just about on the halfway mark. Stewart again. Puts his kick downfield. That just won't find the touchline for him, but it sends Hoff back in his own end goal. 3 Canberra defenders there to get him.
Yes, he did well to get 10 metres back into the field of play after that kick. But it shows the pressure Brisbane are under right now.
Now Kevin Waller's in trouble as Daly drives him back. Gaffey coming there to lend a hand. Hone runs into Gaffey. 10 metres away from the Brisbane line. Kerryn Walters. Again, it was Gaffey involved in that tackle. Now Donnelly takes it over the 22. On the last, Madison down for Belcher. This is a very complete looking Canberra side, Wayne.
Yeah, they're playing very well in both the forwards and the backs. And here's Belcher again.
Belcher making a break. Got it to the 22. Passes there for Martin. Just inside the 22. Trouble again now for the Broncos. As the green machine slips into top gear. O'Sullivan, the little kick ahead was knocked down, I thought, and the referee is going to give the penalty. Harrigan waited, but O'Sullivan was hit late.
Yes, see it again on the State Bank replay. Well, there it was. I think that you'll agree that, let me see it again. Yes, the shoulder charge there by Andrew G. Fractionally late, not all that late in my view, and I don't think there's any player has to deliberately get out of the way of a player that kicks and comes through. But it's certainly worth a penalty, and the referee has given it. So it'll be another 2 points to the Canberra side, one would think, which will just about put them into the realm of the unbeatables.
5-3, the penalties have gone the Raiders' way. To G, the man who came in on O'Sullivan, but yes, it was touch and go on the replay. I've seen a lot worse allowed to get away with.
The frustrations for a forward in those situations. allowing for the fact that forwards are a different kettle of fish to backs. The frustration for a forward to try to interfere with a back coming through are almost impossible to resist sometimes.
Here's Meninga from right in front. Puts the extra 2 on the board. So now the Raiders at 16-0, starting to look as if they may well be ready to take on Penrith.
Simply the best, says their fans. They're proving it today so far. Their cheer squad has had a lot to celebrate right throughout the match. I wonder, Peter, the crowd were chanting Wally Lewis. They're running out of time to use him.
Well, it's the last throw of the dice for them. If he says he's right to go, you'd think that Wayne Bennett would be looking to bring him on. I suppose from the other point of view too, I just saw Laurie Daly in back play there rolling his shoulder over. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a replacement made for him. You know, I know it's a brave move half an hour out, but I'd be looking to get him off 16-0 in front.
Well, Lewis is showing no signs of warming up. Lazarus gets it back to Stewart, who is forced to put a left footer in. And not a bad one, considering the pressure he was under. Khan is taking the ball about 32 out from his own line. Hoff. Conway gets warmed up. Apparently that'll be for Dowling. Miles. Backs to the wall, the Broncos. Kerrod Walters. Driven backwards by Coyne. Popped it out for Madison. They're having trouble with this Canberra defence now. Donnelly. Langer. Looking for the angle to touch. One bounce to Belcher, though. Taken by Kevin Walters. Back confidently for Ferguson to run to the outside of Johns. Now he straightens. Johns chased well. Ferguson stands over 2 fallen Broncos and plays it back for Steve Walters. What a game he's had right up the middle. So too Lazarus. Stewart, switch of play. Coyne's played strongly. He looks infield for Meninga. Meninga away from Kerrod Walters. Gets a clean ball for Gaffey. Now to Martin. Martin infield. They're just hanging on the Broncos. Martin plays it back for Stewart. One of his wide passes for O'Sullivan. Daly. Daly. 12 missed tackles by the Broncos. Number of them very costly. Steve Walters shows his strength again. Last tackle. Stewart might just opt for a field goal. Now he's going to go for a try on a switched play. Belcher. Belcher back for Ferguson. The ball just pops up and sits there for the Broncos on a handover. Khan will play it back. A tired looking Brisbane outfit. They need something to really get them into gear. Home. Conway still waits sideline. For most of the season, for nearly all of the season, they've played without Lewis. They got this far, but maybe this is as far as they go. Lance, I thought he should have unloaded. He had 3 men outside.
So he should have.
Dowling off for Conway as Stewart just settles things down in front of the posts. Coyne. Meninga. Meninga second. They won't stop him. Too big, too strong, and too classy. Meninga's having a field day here in the stadium.
Oh yes, see this again. The State Bank replay, a replay of Mal Meninga's strength is what it is, and skill, of course. But this is a lay down Mazare try from strength. He's caught by the back and still manages to plunder about 8 metres, even though he's held. That's the sort of player he is. He's just magnificent in this mode. Gets the pass from Coyne, surges on strongly, hard, very, very straight. And we'll see it again from a low-down camera angle now. Coyne delivers a good pass to him. He's got a bit of room to move. Dummies to Miles. Hawke's got him round the legs, but there's no way you can stop the man. He's too big, too strong, too classy. And that's it. So Mal Meninga really having a field day here at the Sydney Football Stadium today. I suggest he's enjoying every minute of it. The score is already 20 points to nil. He's scored 2 tries and he's come up with 4 goals from 5 attempts.
"16 points out of 20 for Meninga. The Broncos, the realisation that the year might be over. Dowling replaced, now back to the bench. Meninga. Does he make it 18 points? It's got the legs. Mal Meninga's got another grand final awaiting him. 22-0, the defending champs.
Yeah, it's worth another look. Very, very close to the upright. You can see it just shaves it, then fades. I think the wind blew in his favour on that occasion. I think everything's going in his favour. Nonetheless, it's a superb display of all-round skill, goal kicking and running. Just marvellous.
So run away again. Belcher's there to take it. Straight away for Lance. Very impressive performance from the Canberra side. Penalty's going to go their way as the replacements get set in the tunnel to come on. And another 10 metres. There's somebody, I think it might have been Kieran Waller's had something to say. Meninga still doing plenty of talking with his team. Working out the play from the restart. Meninga has now brought up 204 points for this season. So the restart. Gaffey.
He's had a pretty useful game today. Gaffey too, the youngster. He's not made any major errors and tackled very strongly and particularly good at taking the ball forward and offloading. He's done that on 2 occasions.
Walters again. He has been a constant menace to the Broncos. Stewart, now Todd. Gaffey gets into dummy half. Pass for Stewart, now it's O'Sullivan. Here's Meninga again, and got Belcher into the back line. Belcher's up to the corner, looks for his winger, elects to hang on to it. He's pulled down just 10 metres away. This is the last tackle in this set. It's come across for Stewart. Up goes the bomb. Hoff stands his ground, jumps very, very high to take it.
Magnificent catch there by Hoff under some pressure. Took it in the accredited manner, turning his body in the air so that his back was to the opposition. Very, very strong defender.
Now that's a strong run from Willie Kahn.
Lost the football.
But he lost the football in doing it. So Coyne will play it. More troubles for the Broncos. Gaffey will play it. Now Dean Lance.
I think he's being paid by the yard too. He's going forward with monotonous regularity.
Stewart, O'Sullivan, here's Meninga again. A little kick and chase. O'Sullivan is doing some chasing, so is Martin. Looks like a game of soccer out there. Picked up by Belcher, straight away to Meninga. 8 metres away, penalty.
That's got to be a penalty. Walters comes diving through onto the football that Meninga's played, as you can see. And that area is like handling the ball in a ruck. Must be an immediate penalty. He threw the ball away at that point. I'm a little bit surprised the referee allowed him to get away with that. He couldn't march him another 10 yards. He's within 10 yards of the goal line, so perhaps he could have given him a minute or two in the sin bin, 5 minutes.
So the Raiders want more points as they get set for this move, just 10 metres out. Ricky Stewart, O'Sullivan, dummy to Todd, and went straight through. O'Sullivan, 4 metres away. It's across for Stewart again. The long floater for Daly, quick hands, Meninga looking for another one, pulled down just short. 2 metres, 3 metres away. Daly can't find a way through there. And didn't get up too well either. Now here's Stewart again. Dummy, showing it to a couple of players before getting it on to Gaffey. Gaffey still going, looks for a pass back inside to Stewart. Did he get it down?
No try.
No try, held up.
Near as damn it, but Gaffey did particularly well on this little bit of play. We've already given him a rap for good ball distribution. He gets a nice pass away here to Stewart, and Stewart can't get the ball down. That's a third occasion in the match somebody's got over the line, not been able to get the ball down. Twice the Brisbane Broncos in the first half and once to the Canberra side.
Hot. Couple of changes made, Bill.
Yeah, Matthew Wood goes on in 15 for Laurie Daly to give that shoulder a rest, and Phil Carey in 16 for Dean Lance.
Carey straight into the play. Bill, as a coach, I've got to ask you, congratulations there for Lance for a big effort for his side. I've got to ask you about the Lewis thing, Bill. Maybe they're not going to use him at all.
Well, I don't think they are going to, Graham. It's just gone too far now. I think I'd have had him on at half-time. Their only chance was to introduce some extra sort of flair into the game, and I think a little bit more enthusiasm too. I've just got the feeling that Brisbane came here and thought the job was completed, that they'd gone far enough to make the final.
Walters kicks down to Belcher. Lewis is stretching in the tunnel, so he might get out there still. The big question is whether he will end up captaining the Kangaroos to Great Britain and France. Carey with some easy room up the middle. 22-0. Canberra showing that they want another 12-month stay in the nation's capital for the Winfield Cup. Todd. Their pack has been just as strong as their backs today. Stewart. Coyne has been superb. Lazarus is there in support. Brisbane at 6 and 7s again. Carey. Quickly for Belcher. He evaded one. A one-hander for Ferguson to straighten. Popped up a pass. He thought support was there. It wasn't. And a knock-on against Kevin Walters. So a scrum feed for Canberra and more pressure. Right under the posts. The Raiders will be tougher to hold out from here. Take your pick from the scrum for Ricky Stewart. Belcher's one side, O'Sullivan, Meninga the other. Carey picks it up from lock, makes an extra man, cut out for Wood. Wood's taken by Johns. Stewart scoops it up one hand, ends up a couple of metres away. That'll be a penalty. He was tackled and Khan just stripped him of it.
Stewart there. There's the football being stolen on the State Bank replay, quite illegitimately, and the penalty goes to the Canberra side.
Bit of a chat for Conway on a touch judge's report.
I think that's where the stiff arm missed.
Meninga wants a try. He's not going to settle for goal. They want another try. Restart with Steve Walters. Lazarus bounced out of one, ran away from a second, and nearly threw a couple more. There's four hanging on to him. An exchange of punches, Lazarus and Walters. Kerrod Walters, that is. He had the ball. Penalty goes the way of the Broncos.
Well, Lazarus being penalised here for initiating the problem, according to the referee. A bit hard to see from up here. Well, there's a little portion of the replay. You can see Walters came in with a clubbing hand down low, and Lazarus must have resented that because he starts throwing punches as soon as he straightens up. The referee presumably didn't see the one that Walters threw initially.
So the Broncos are back on their line again. Laurie Daly sideline with Bill.
Laurie, congratulations. Grand final number 2. I suppose, looking at it in hindsight, last week's loss has done you some good.
Yeah, I suppose, Billy. We're better off for the run, and hopefully we can go all right next week.
What about the shoulder for next week? No problems at all?
I'll be right by next week, mate. It's a bit sore now, but it'll be right by next week.
And you'll need to produce another effort like this one.
Yeah, we sure will. We knew we were going to have a hard game today, but I think Mal's led the side beautifully, and it's a great effort by the team.
Congratulations, mate. Into the shower.
Thanks, Billy.
Laurie Daly. It certainly will be a lot tougher next Sunday. Miles. Trying to hold it up one hand, but all he did was lose it. And for the interest of the big crowd here, they just want to see Wally Lewis get on the field in this second half. Ferguson! They love to see this man run too. Hoff and Ferguson. Ferguson beat him. Conway got back just in time in cover right on the 22. They could be on their way to another try. O'Sullivan, Meninga, numbers out wide, Belcher inside, taken by Hoff. Lewis is coming to the sideline as Todd gets hammered and Harrigan calls somebody out. The crowd rise as Lewis walks to the field.
Well, I'd say his reception is about 50-50. He's getting a hell of a lot of cheering, leaving by a lot of booing. So he's got 50% of support. That's all you can really expect, Wally.
Well, the signs are out, the flags are up, and the king is on. In the meantime, Billy Harrigan continues to give a lecture to Andrew G. and G. Miles listing as skipper. But Wally Lewis back on the football field. It's been a long time. And I just wonder if all of those boos that were coming out for him will still be there should he be wearing a red and black jumper next year.
Or a Gold Coast one.
Well, he may be right. I've got a fair feeling that the North Sydney side are very keen to get him. But let's stick with the play here as the Raiders are hungry for more tries. And they're only 10 metres away. Stewart. O'Sullivan inside beautifully. Gaffey will play it 10 metres out. Here's Meninga again. Now it's with Belcher. Getting on the outside of his man, flicked it back for Martin. Martin still going, pull down 5 metres short. Down the blind side. Goes Steve Bolos. Did he get it down? No.
Well, State Bank replay. Steve Walters makes the 4th occasion that somebody's got over the line, but unable to get the ball down. I don't think anyone would argue with the referee about that particular ruling. He didn't appear to.
Langer works the scrum. Hancock. Caught by Meninga. Right in front of his goalpost. Hoff. Hone. Now Walters. Passes straight away for Ricky Stewart. Now it's with Wood. Wood flooded one out by Jigger Ferguson into the corner. No try. Called back by the referee. The smile will change in a minute. What?
Replay, State Bank replay. The pass that was forward floated out to Ferguson. The referee fooled everybody. He got the ball down legitimately. The touch judge was quite impressed with it, but the referee called it back for a forward pass.
So the scrum worked by Langer. Now it's with Hoff.
I don't think anyone would begrudge Ferguson a try today. He's really performed very, very well.
Conway. Scrums have gone the way of Brisbane 7-4. As Andrew G stands in the tackle. Finally succumbs to it. Coyne.
He's been
Gaffey.
A bit of a hero today, Coyne. He's run very, very well and stood up the head on defence. And he's not the biggest man on the field in the forwards either.
Lewis touches the football, puts his kick in as Canberra gets set for another change, Bill.
David Barnhill will be going on in 14 for Brent Todd. I think the Timmy Sheens now just want to try to keep as many troops available for next week as possible.
Here's Ferguson again. Caught by Lewis. Lazarus fights his way to within 5 metres of the halfway mark. Now O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's gone through. O'Sullivan up towards the 22. Meninga's with him. Getting that doesn't need Meninga. Beautiful pass out to his winger Martin. And the Raiders are in again.
I thought that was Meninga's 3rd try coming up, but the pass was delivered across his body. See it again on the State Bank replay as we watch Walters get the pass out there. to Walters, to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's had the defence come up on him too quickly. He was able to sprint through the gap. He had Meninga on the outside, but he also had Martin, and Martin was able to score a very good try. At this point, I think Meninga too thought he was going to be the recipient of the pass, but it goes right across. Hawth was left pointless on that occasion, and the try is scored despite the attention of Hancock, the wing three-quarter. So there he is, Paul Martin coming in for his second try in this match.
What a day out for Mal Meninga. What a day out for his team. Lewis, 9.5 minutes left for he and the Broncos to try and get on the board. Meninga now. Meninga, not so successful on this occasion, but the Raiders 26-0 over Brisbane. Back come the Broncos. The biggest talking point of the season has been Lewis and Bennett and the Brisbane side. Taken by Gaffey. They try something different. To the credit of Wayne Bennett, he made that strong decision at the start of the year. And who could really call him unsuccessful, getting just one match away from the grand final? Barnhill taken, 40 out from his own line. Peter, how do you see it next week now?
Well, obviously the Penrith team who are sitting just up behind us, they know they've got a job to do next week against a very confident Canberra side. Penrith have shown that they are, they deserve to be in the grand final first up, so they've got the artillery to go on with the job. But this is an awesome display by this side. Steve Wallace, here he goes again, another 15, 20 yards up the middle. They're going to have to be very strong, Penrith, but, I think it's an even money bet.
Wayne, how do you see it?
Well, Canberra, even without Bradley Clyde, are a strong outfit, as we've seen today. But if they've got everybody fit and 100% able to back up after this match, they'll be hard to beat. I think a lot hinges on the outcome as far as injuries are concerned for the likes of Laurie Daly.
Well, Bill, I spoke to Phil Gould before the match today, and I said, how did he see it? He said Canberra was specials.
Yeah, and that's the way it's turned out. Canberra have played a lot better than they did last week against Penrith, Graham, and that was a draw until obviously before we went into extra time. Penrith will have to play better than they did then, and I think they will.
Hone brings it away for the Broncos. One of his last charges of the season. G. The disappointment for the Broncos, heading for their biggest defeat of the season, and they've left it to their last match of the year. Lewis. Taken by Martin. When people talk about the Kangaroo team to Great Britain and France, he's a man that you can't leave out. He's had a terrific year. Underrated. Harrigan rules this one forward, and deliberately with a man in front of him. Meninga leaves the field. Just about a standing ovation for the skipper. Bell is out there. Early shower for the skipper. Man to stop next Sunday. Donnelly, 9 metres out. Can the Broncos get a try? Madison, Conway nearly being able to reach out. This is the area where Wally Lewis calls the shot so well. Turns his back. Up quickly to play the ball. Hone trying to get it out for Kevin Walters. Kevin Walters popped up for Steve Walters. Long chain reaction for the Walters brothers from Brisbane. Offside, Conway knew it.
Gave himself up.
And Canberra scramble again in defence near their own line. Stewart. Peter Wayne and Bill said his kicking game would be important. It has been in the match. Says his direction in calling the shots. Stretching the ball out wide. Lazarus. The Raiders joined the Winfield Cup in 1982. Next Sunday, in such a short space of time, will be their third appearance in a grand final. And they will be there in all three grades. What a day out for the nation's capital. Penrith joined in 67. Next Sunday, they get a chance to write their own page of history, their first ever appearance. Rahill stretching it. Bell's got plenty of pace. He's got a mile of pace and support. Should be a try. Carey under the post. Another brilliant try from Canberra. What a stamp they've put on this final of 1990 and served out the warning to the Penrith Panthers.
Yes, a splendid bit of football here. There was an error that started all this, as so often tries come from errors. There was a pass went to ground at this stage, and David Burnhill had to go and regroup and pick it up, which he did. Evaded a tackle, got the pass away very, very nicely out there to Mark Bell. Now, Bell's got a ton of pace. He's a very quick player. And there it was, back inside to Carey, and Carey was able to sprint almost unmarked. The score becoming a positive embarrassment these days for the Brisbane side. And there's the pass away very, very nicely to Carey. About a 20-metre sprint for him to put the ball down underneath the posts. And that's up to 30 points now. We're getting into the realms of a flogging.
Gary Belcher takes over the goal-kicking duties, with Meninga having a rest. And Belcher from right in front. No problems for him. This scoreline continues to tick over. 32-0. The Raiders over Brisbane. They've had plenty of work to do, the girls.
Yes, they've been earning their money. Really, when you think about this second half, the Brisbane Broncos have only once or twice been in the quarter of the Canberra side. They've never had a chance to mount any attacks. All they've been doing is defending their own line or their own halves in some areas.
Now here's Lewis, right on the 22. The Broncos looking to show that they can put a try on the board. They're only 10 metres out with Langer. Now Kevin Walters. Now Conway. Back for Hone. They've used up 5 tackles getting there. Walters with a little kick through. And the penalty's going to go to the Broncos.
Is he claiming he was tripped on that occasion? There's the little... And there's the foot went out surreptitiously for him to fall over. The ball was hurried over the dead ball line, but on the State Bank replay it showed fairly clearly.
Another opportunity for Brisbane. Langer held up 5 metres away. Come back for Madison. And Madison is about 2 metres away from the line. Penalty again. Interference in the ruck. Just want another quick tap. It's Langer who will do it. Out for Lewis. Lewis across field. Turns it back in for Hancock. Hancock right in front of the post. Recoils out of another defender.
He's been a great disappointment to me today, Hancock, for pretty near all of the game. He's not seemed to want to get involved.
Here's Langer. Kevin Walters. Johns to Hoff. Hoff will score. Weight of numbers out wide have given Brisbane their first try.
Well, he started out being the Brisbane Broncos' best player on the opening stanza. The opening 10 minutes or so, he had 3 or 4 great runs, but he's not really been able to do much since then. But Johns was able to turn the ball back on the inside to him there. He was coming very fast, as we'll see. He's a very long, lanky player that really surprises with their pace that he can run. You don't usually associate very lanky men with being fast runners, but he's an exception. And on that occasion, with Johns turning a pass back into him on the inside and no defence coming close to him, he was able to really get over it. He's only 21 years of age. He's a policeman, and I reckon he's about nearly 7 feet tall.
And he scored 11 tries this year. Tim Sheens leaves his seat to come down and be closer to his side. And Madison just had the one shot for goal and missed with it, of course. This was about 9 metres in from touch on the 22. Right across the face of the post. Can't have the extras. 32-4, that score. Now Lewis, who's doing plenty of talking, I wonder, has he assumed captaincy, Bill?
I imagine so. Gene Miles was the player who he replaced, and he's doing all of the talking and organising.
Doesn't have to do any more now, because it's all over for the Broncos. Referee Harrigan calls full time, and an overwhelming victory to the Canberra Raiders, and it certainly sets up what is going to be a tremendous grand final next Sunday between two teams. And you'll recall it was level score last time they met at full time.
Well, there you are. There's the scoreline. I really expected this game to be fairly even, but a high-scoring match has turned out to be a high-scoring match, but Canberra's way. Their 32 points came Martin 2 tries, Meninga 2 tries, Carey a try, Meninga 5 goals, Belcher 1 goal. For Brisbane, their points came from Falk, who scored in the last few seconds of the match 1 try. So there it was, a very resounding victory to Canberra over Brisbane, 32 points to 4. They now go into the grand final to play the Peppers side next week.